going to talk about how attitudes and work habits support career retention and advancement. By the end of this lesson, I want you to understand how intelligence can be developed, the brain is malleable, and how doing challenging work is the best way to make the brain stronger and to make you smarter. And I will explain in just a moment how all this ties in to career studies. So, what does all this have to do with your career? And that is what I want to talk about next because I really want you to understand why we learn what we do. Well, the first answer should be obvious, and it has to do with your report card. So the more time and energy that you put into your grades, obviously they go up and you get a really good report card. The second piece of that has to do with your GPA, and we haven't spent a lot of time talking about that. In fact, only a few of you have messaged me asking about your GPA, and I just want to put a little plug in there that if you are interested in your GPA, you can send me a message and I will message you back and tell you what it is. And when I say message, you can message me in Schoology and I'll tell you what it is. Basically, the grades that you get, we then put that into a point. So if you get an A, you get generally, now there's some rules about it. I'm not going to go into all this now. That would be a whole nother lesson. But just basically, an A is generally worth a 4, B is worth a 3, a C is worth a 2. But then there's some other rules that again, I'm not going to get into. But that creates a grade point average. And that is then calculated. And then when you go to apply to college, you put that number or you give them that number. So the first part about why does this matter is obvious. You want to have a high grade point average. So that part's obvious. The second part is, if not as important, perhaps more important. And yes, your school counselor is saying it is perhaps more important. So yes, grades are important. However, what are you going to do when the going gets tough? Are you going to throw your vegetables off the table when you don't like them? So when you go to work or in life, and I know you've heard this before, and I don't mean to sound like a parent, but there's going to be things that you don't like to do. And how are you going to handle it? When you go to your job, when you have your career, there's going to be things that your boss is going to ask you to do. And even if you do like to do it, there's going to be things that your boss is going to ask you to do that you don't know how to do. So what are you going to do when you don't know how to do that? And I'm going to liken that to math or English or any of the classes here, that when you're given an assignment and you don't know how to do it, what do you do? So it's the same idea. It's how do you overcome those obstacles? And that is what I want to talk about today. So they've done tons of research on what employers want out of their employees. And this is across the board. What do you want out of your employees? And this is a list of things that they put together, and this is research based. This isn't just a random survey. So the number one thing, work in a team, ability to make decisions and solve problems, plan, organize, prioritize, communicate verbally with other people. So I can go through, and we'll go through this list probably in another lesson. But as you look over this list, I am going to bet that it probably none of you, or maybe one or two of you, would go through this list and say, I am really good at doing all of those things right now. I was not good at all of those things. And even now, looking at them, some of those I struggle with. So what do you do when you have things that you struggle with or you may not be so good at, when these are the things that employers want in their employees? And this is critically important because how you handle these things, how you handle these obstacles or these things that get in your way are going to determine whether or not, one, you keep it, well, whether or not you get a job, whether or not you keep the job, and whether or not you get promoted. Because in the workplace, it is not always fair. It is not always who came first gets the promotion. It has to do with how you negotiate and how you work around some of the obstacles that get in your way. So This stuff is so very important. So what I hear from students sometimes is, well, when I get a job, then I will, get up early and then I will go, I'll be there on time and I'll do blah, 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 blah. And what I am challenging you to do is to practice overcoming those hurdles and those things that you don't like to do it now, to not wait. Now is the time to do it. Now is the time to practice. Now is the time to set goals while you still have some security net, while you still have people to help you and for you to practice, to not wait. Today to set those goals and to start practicing. So let's take a look at this list again. So we have ability to work in a team. So to me, that means going to class, interacting with your teachers and with your fellow students, to make decisions and solve problems. That means, well, to me, that means working in math class and, well, again, making decisions, coming up with goals and following through. Ability to communicate verbally with people inside and outside an organization. Oh, I just skipped one. Ability to plan, organize, and prioritize work. That's what we're talking about right now. So all these things, these first four things we're talking about, these are all things that you can be doing right now just within this lesson that we're talking about. Obtain and process information. Well, you're doing that right now. Analyze quantitative data. Well, there you go. Again, math class. Technical knowledge related to the job. That, again, that has to do with learning material. So any class that you are struggling with, or actually, even if all your classes are super easy, I would challenge you to take it up to the next level. Because if everything is easy for you, for those one or two of you that are sitting back and saying, "Oh, this is easy," then find something that's more challenging. Proficiency with the computer software programs. I think every single week I have said, take Microsoft classes. I would love for each one of you to get a Microsoft certification before you leave here. Create and edit written reports. Again, Microsoft, Microsoft, Microsoft. Sell and influence others. And that does not just mean sell as in sell things, but that is convince other people to do things. So these are the types of things, even whatever career you get into, this is what they're looking for. It's the ability to do these types of things. And all of this, right now, I could come up with an example of something that you could do, bad drawing here, something that you could do right now to practice all of these skills in high school. So let's switch gears for just a second. Let's talk about the growth mindset. The idea is everyone sees the world through two basic pairs of glasses. One pair or one set of glasses is the idea that you were born smart or maybe not so smart, and you might say things like, I am good at math, or you might say things like, I can't learn math, or math isn't, I just can't do math. And, or you might say things like, I just can't do algebra. And you might think that things that are hard for you are things that you just can't do. So people that wear that set of glasses that think that if things are just difficult, then you can't do them, and no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to do them, and then you avoid them. Those are people that are from the fixed mindset. You believe that things that are difficult, you just shouldn't do, and if you run into a barrier, then you just get frustrated, and if it's harder for you, that's sort of an excuse not to do it. There's another set of glasses that's the growth mindset. And the people that wear these glasses believe that if things are challenging or difficult, that's okay, that it's part of the journey. And they expect to not be able to do everything the first time. So if things are difficult, it's okay. If they go to their math, and let's say they're doing, I'm so sorry if you love math, and if you're, don't show this to your math teachers, because I really don't mean to pick on math. But let's say you're doing your math and you don't know how to do it. You would still try to do it. You would turn it in. You would get the feedback from your math teacher. You would meet them at their office hours, and then you would try a second time and maybe a third time. And you would keep trying that week until you were able to get it. And you would you would go to class and you would take the notes, and then you would watch the recording again, and you would keep working at it. Because the idea would be that everyone would be able to do it. And I have worked with students who were really, really, really not good at math and have gotten an A in hard math classes because of the time and the effort that they put into the class. And I've worked with people who were like, their math scores were like super high in math, but then they failed their math class because when the problems got difficult, weren't they did not go to class, they did not meet with their teachers, they just the going got difficult, they didn't put in the extra time or effort to do it. So here's the thing, there's basically two ways of looking at it. But here's the thing, we all wear both sets of glasses. Because the person who wears the set of glasses that when math gets difficult, they don't try again, that same person might go outside and do a sport and keep trying with that sport again and again and again. And the person who wears the glasses that tries really hard at math might not wear those same glasses when it comes to, let's say, getting healthy or going on a diet or doing something else for themselves. So we all wear both glasses, but it depends on what part of our life and what's going on in our life. So before any of us get all like kind of high and mighty and say, well, I wear this glasses or I wear these glasses, you have to think about we all do it. So the important thing is to always keep in perspective, okay, well, which pair of glasses am I wearing for this activity? And can I put on the other pair that will help me be more successful now? So my question for you is, which pair of glasses are you going to be wearing this week? Are you going to have the growth mindset glasses on? And what exactly are you doing now that will help you match some, or ideally all, of the 10 skills that employers are looking for in their employees? Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help you with this assignment. I hope you have a great rest of your week.